My female cousin just did this to me because I said Jasmine Crockett is an idiot. My female cousin, my hard R female Kamala Harris, Jasmine Crockett voting for cousin, did this because I said Jasmine Crockett is an idiot. So I tackled her, held her down. You know, I used to wrestle in school. Can't no girl hurt me unless you got a weapon. And both my mama and my auntie right there, she's yelling at them, "Get him off of me! What are you gonna do?"
Men like push women, push their buttons, and then when a woman reacts, now it's like, oh, I just simply asked her a question. Like, are you stupid? Do you think we're stupid? That's not what happened. Even by your own admission, that's not what happened.
Just letting y'all know that there are many men out there that truly believe in equality and will defend themselves by any means necessary. Let's continue.
Then I held her wrist because she really wanted another hit. Then I called her several bitches, and I even put my knee on her neck on purpose just to put that animal in her place.
He put his knee on her, but he's so proud that he didn't punch her in the face. This is what I'm saying. This, y'all, what's the difference? The obsession that men have with striking women, causing women bodily harm is pretty ridiculous. Men love the idea of harming women, right? And they love to talk about it. They love to talk about how they can't do it, how they're just stopping themselves from doing it. You know, like, oh, you should be really afraid of me, but I would never do it though. I'm not an abuser though, but you should be afraid of me. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. You know, it's always that. But yeah, it's very, very wild. Like, men really have it bad. Like, we really have that bad. And we go out of our way to talk about it. You know, it's just so funny. We talk about it a lot. But I came across this the other day, and initially I laughed. I'm not gonna even lie. I laughed. I was like, finally. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, I ain't gonna even lie. That was my initial reaction. I was like, finally, damn, you know. But then I saw his reaction, and I instantly became like really upset. And I was just like, nah, we gotta address this. Now, this dude is a known, to me, I mean, he is a very abusive. He abuses women every day online. He's very abusive to women. His language, his whole platform is geared towards abusing women. So this wasn't a shock to me when I saw this, but I just want men to understand that this isn't okay. This isn't okay.
My female cousin just did this to me because I said Jasmine Crockett is an idiot. My female cousin, my hard R female Kamala Harris, Jasmine Crockett voting for cousin, did this because I said Jasmine Crockett is an idiot. And then I simply said to her, who do you think? Mind you, I used to like Jasmine Crockett because she's black. And then I listened to her and was like, oh, this girl dumb. Like, do you know how much of an idiot you have to be as a black person to grow up in a good household and want to play ghetto for the internet and for people on TV? So then we was arguing, and I'm leaving. I'm on the way out.
So I know people, you know, get contentious around politics, but he tried to do the thing right now where he was like, I wasn't even talking about her, but you could have been talking about her. You could have been talking about her, right? You might not have been, but you could have been. It could have been shady, you know. And her being a black woman, there's a chance that the things you were saying were probably offensive to black women in general, even though you were talking about, you claim you were talking about Jasmine Crockett specifically. Calling Jasmine Crockett stupid, I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? Just like Kamala wasn't perfect. They say and do things that I agree with. They both ride with Israel. You know, I'm not a fan of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what politician nowadays is really against Israel right now? Right? Democrats and Republicans. I don't want to make it seem like I want to be clear. They're wrong for riding with Israel, but at the same time, that I'm not gonna act like they're outliers in that respect, right? We agree on so many things. Like I agree with Jasmine Crockett on so many issues that I'm not about to sit here and act like I disagree with her on this one fundamental one, by the way. I'm not going to sit here and be like, she's stupid. You know what I mean? She's in the U.S. government. If you're in the U.S. government, you're probably bought and paid for by AIPAC. It's just the reality. You know, you want to, if you want to address that, let's address that, right? Let's talk about that type of stuff. But his critique of Jasmine Crockett wasn't even her politics. It was she's acting ghetto. Very anti-Black language, very dismissive, very disrespectful to Black women in general, from what I can tell, even just from his statement there, his little bit of information he gave there, right? If I were a Black woman in that situation, maybe, I could have felt like he was talking about me directly if I'm his cousin. Maybe I could have felt like he was throwing shade. I don't know. And I doubt that that's all it was. Like you just said that and then she just, like that's not what happened. I'm sure you were talking shit. We've all heard you talk before. We've all heard and seen how you push women and you push their buttons and you're a real life fucking troll. You are a troll in the flesh, in the flesh, right? And most men are trolls, by the way. Most men are trolls. But you're one of the worst trolls on the planet. I can see you having a conversation and you pushing somebody's buttons. Yes, she shouldn't have put hands on him. Yes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to sit here and fucking argue with y'all. Like, nobody should ever put, like, okay, fine. You got me. Okay. Yes, nobody should ever hit anybody. Are we good now? But anyways, this motherfucker's a real life troll. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was bound to happen.
Door. And then try to like scratch me. Like she came at me like I was a girl that she was fighting. So I tackled her, held her down. I used to wrestle in school. Can't no girl hurt me unless you got a weapon. And both my mama and my auntie right there, she's yelling at them, get him off of me. What are you going to do? Get him off of me. What are you going to do? I'm like, you did it, you idiot. So yeah, liberals love talking about how the other side is so bad. But this is what they do when you simply ask them a logical question. And do you know what made her lose her composure so much? Was when I said, who do you think watches Jasmine Crockett more? The person whose job is to be on the internet or the person who watches them in their free time? She said, you don't think I can watch her? I said, you see, this is what y'all do. I ask you a simple question and you can't answer it. And then she just
turn into the Hulk, female Hulk. All right.
Look at my face. Look at my face. She lucky I ain't some bitch-ass man who wants to hit a woman.
But you got to think about how unstable of a human being that you have to be to attack somebody because he asked you a question that made you feel bad about yourself.
I hate these. I can't stand these dudes. I don't know how to say it, but the way that these men go out of their way to protect abusive men, and this is what I'm saying in real life. I just got done making a video about how men like push women, push their buttons, and then when a woman reacts, now it's like, oh, I just simply asked her a question. Like, are you fucking stupid? Do you think we're stupid? That's not what happened. Even by your own admission, that's not what happened. You couldn't even hide the lie. That's not what happened.
Conviction so loud, strong, and wrong, and melting down in the form of blows against a family member over someone that she's never met before, doesn't even know who you are, but willing to crash out for that person, for threat of the toppling of her identity through the sister code. Understand, I don't endorse violence at all.
Here they go, throwing around those buzzwords, the sister code. I don't think it was just the sister code. I think it was way deeper than that.
I think everybody should be keeping the damn hands to themselves, man or woman. Just letting y'all know that there are many men out there that truly believe in equality and will defend themselves by any means necessary. Let's continue.
Because I let her up. Oh, and if you're wondering, You know I called the police. They're on the way
Good.
right now. But I gave my
Good.
auntie a heads up. I said, since she's family, I'll give her a head start.
You shouldn't have done that.
I called the law. So she best not be here when the police get here.
You shouldn't have done that.
She probably won't be here when the police get here. But it's going to be a warrant out for her arrest or whatever county I'm in Texas. And I know where you live in Chicago, you stupid. You're going to jail, bitch. Yeah. Weird as hell out here. 35, never had no real boyfriend. And you ain't even fat, you cute. And you in Chicago, the home of the thirstiest niggas around. And nobody wants you?
That nigga sound like you want to fuck his cousin. Ugh. What? So, okay. So you antagonize this woman. She gets mad. She scratches your face. You beat her up and you justify it by saying you didn't punch her. You beat her up, though. You do beat her up. I remember I got into a fight a long time ago. I was in the 6th grade. It was the only fight I ever had at school. I never fought at school. I always fought in the hood. I fought many other places. I never fought at school, though, for whatever reason. It just was like nobody ever had problems with me at school. I wasn't the kid. I was very popular and whatever. But 6th grade, I wasn't popular. I was 6th grade. Nobody knew me. It was school. It was fucking clear across town, whatever. So I ended up getting into a fight with this 8th grader. I was in the 6th grade. And I punched him in the face. And I just remember I had a hot pastrami sandwich in my hand. And I punched him and the pastrami blew up all over his face. Hot cheese, meat, shit, oozing down his face. I 2-pieced him, whatever. But he ended up getting behind me somehow. And he never hit me in my face. He never hit me in my face. But he punched me like 30 times in my back. I was just like, ah. And I know he was punching me, don't get me wrong, but I just say all that to say, like, you don't have to punch a woman in her face to beat her up. Like, that dude beat me up. Like, I was in the 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? He was like 14, 13 years old. I'm like 11, 12. I'm freshly starting puberty. He's like in the middle of puberty. He was stronger than me, whatever, right? But he never punched me in my face, and he beat me up. People say, and it was funny, people said I won just because I punched him in the face. And I was like, why am I the one feeling like it was like 2 days later and I was sore as shit, But no, you don't have to hit a woman in the face. You have to hit somebody in the face to beat them up. I hate how he's trying to get out of this by being like, I could have punched her, but instead I tackled her and pinned her down. Please.
So if a woman is upset and she attacks a man, the obligation of a man is supposed to take those hits, not defend itself, and figure out how to walk away.
Yes. Full stop. Yes. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But I got a feeling you're not going to end it there.
But if a man hits a woman, we encourage her to protect herself. Well, isn't that a double standard? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah. Yes. Double standards exist in nature. Double standards exist naturally. If I attacked a child and that child fought back, nobody would say, why would you fight back? You're not supposed to be fighting back. But if a child attacks me and I fight back, everybody's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Beating up a child. It's more than the mental, you guys. I need for you guys to understand that. You can compare women and children in this area, in this scenario, because in both scenarios, men are significantly stronger than women when it comes to, violence or threats of violence, typically, right? Again, I've said this a million times. My wife is 5'2". I am 6 foot. I am like 30 pounds, 40 pounds heavier than her. I'm 6 foot. I am significantly stronger than her, especially when it comes to the upper body. Like way stronger than her. She's stronger than me in some ways. She's more flexible and da-da-da-da. Yes, she has her own areas of strength. But when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, I am significantly stronger than my wife. So if my wife hits me, the same principles apply because she can't really hurt me. Just like that idiot Jamal said in the other video. He said, can't no woman hurt me unless she got a weapon. Exactly. So if a woman can't hurt you, get away. That's exactly what we're saying. If a woman can't hurt you, why engage? Ego. You tackling her, you pinning her down. That was your ego. You didn't need to do that. You could have pushed. I don't even care if you pushed her on the ground. I don't think anybody here would be like, you pushed her on the ground. Like if a woman out of nowhere, right, claws, scratches you in the face, and you reflexively to get away, push her as hard as you can, and then run away. I don't think anybody here is going to be like, oh, you shouldn't have pushed. Anybody says that, you're being disingenuous. That's crazy. I don't have any problem with that, right? I think we all agree that that is like best case scenario in that case, to get her away from you and then you get away. Oh, you don't want to do that? You would rather hold her down and do all of that stuff because while you're holding her down, you're also beating her up. I'm sure you were. Though you weren't punching her in the face, I'm sure you were still roughing her up like the police do when they handcuff you. They still be whooping your ass though. Right?
I have prepared a statement for all the people who say I should have hit my cousin back or say I shouldn't have let her hit me. I could have hit her back, and it would have been legally acceptable. But I used to wrestle in high school and for like 15 minutes in college. She hit me with one vicious strike/scratch to the face. You know how girls fight. Plus, I was surrounded by female family. I never in a million years would have thought that she was about to hit me, especially because I wasn't personally attacking her. After that first hit, I took her down within like 5 seconds. It was light work because she's a girl. Then I held her wrist because she...
What did I say? Biggest fucking troll. Because she's a girl. Just unnecessary digs. And you expect me to believe that all you did was just talk about Jasmine Crockett. You're a troll, bro. You do everything you do is to get a rise out of women. Everything.
A girl. Then I held her wrist because she really wanted another hit. Then I called her several bitches, and I even put my knee on her neck on purpose just to put that animal in her place. At the end of the day, given my...
He called his cousin, a woman, black woman, an animal. And what did he do? He put his knee on her like they did George Floyd. They killed George Floyd. They didn't punch George Floyd in the head 1,000 times. They didn't punch him in the face. They still killed him. So he put his knee on her, but he's so proud that he didn't punch her in the face. This is what I'm saying. Y'all, what's the difference? What's the difference?
Animal in her place. At the end of the day, given my training and knowledge and the fact that I'm 5'9", 185, and I bench almost 300 pounds.
No, you don't. Prove it. Go to the bed. I've seen you. You don't work out no more. You probably could at one point in time in your life at your strongest point. You probably could bench close to 300 pounds. When I was working out like crazy before I got all my injuries and shit, I could bench 300 pounds too. I can't do it today, but I could at one point in time in my life. I could squat over 300 pounds. I could deadlift well over 300 pounds. And I was 6 foot 190. Yeah, I was super duper strong. Yeah, at one time. I'm still strong now, but I'm not as strong as I was at my peak. Just like you're not. Stop fucking lying. And you're doing all of this because you were called out by other men, right? So now you have to tell the full story. Because when he tried to tell it initially, remember, he was like, oh, I didn't do this. And, oh, I held her down. And now, because the men were in his comments and they was like, bro, you should have did this. If I was there, I would have killed her. He was like, I got you, my guys. Don't worry. I fucked her up. I even called her the B word. And here I am. I'm going to call her an animal. You're doing all of this performing for the male gaze. And I'm not talking about the GAZE gaze, the other gaze.
I would have felt terrible if I would have hit my auntie's daughter. That being said, what if I wasn't a wrestler? That might have been a very clean clock. She would have been waking up off of that flow instead of me letting her off of that flow. More importantly, my mother watched the entire thing. I know she is proud of the strong man she raised. The physical strength to stop Avery Lynn Boyd's nonsense, but the mental strength to remain completely in control of my emotions and only...
He dropped her government name, by the way.
Control the situation instead of doing what so many other men would have. That being said, I am available for promo, concerts, podcasts, and miscellaneous bookings. To quote a great man, your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
This has been his shtick for a little while now. He's turning himself into the victim every single time. He did it with that one girl. He sued her, that woman who alleged they had went out or whatever. He sued her. Now he's gonna probably sue this woman, his cousin, and and all of that stuff. And he just, he's a poster child, like, for these weird ass men, these narcissistic men or whatever. This is crazy though. This is very, 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 yeah. He he's just a troll, man. He's just a troll, and he's doing it in real life. And that's why his wife divorced him and left him. I bet you she never talks to him. He talks shit about his own mama. In this video, he talking about his mama is proud of him, but in other videos, he dogged his own mama before. He hate his mama. He hate the women. He hates the women in his family. And the women in his family hate him. I hope y'all don't never invite him to another cookout or nothing. And also, if this man ever gets booked for anything, let's make sure that we protest. Let's make sure we come together and let the companies know that this is not a good idea. It's not in your best interest to affiliate yourself with this man.